World War I, the War of Sharing, ended in 1918. A handful of rich people behind the states were greedily searching for raw materials. Nationalism was the grammar used by this handful of rich people all over the world and was a tool to deceive the masses, just like religion. The world bourgeoisie used tens of thousands of people as soldiers and shaped the maps, but their conflicts didn't end. Even though weak and colonized geographies like the Ottoman Empire were defending themselves, like the Battle of Gallipoli, the rich at the top shared the world in front of the map. New countries were being identified and agreements were being made with the new bourgeoisie of these countries. Of course, the post-war division of the world was not complete. It will never be completed as long as capitalism continues and nation-state borders exist. In the course of all these, the German state was weakened after the war. This was a great opportunity for self-government and real democracy. When a state is weakened, people can govern themselves in small communes. Socialist, communist and anarchist intellectuals in communities and cities in Germany mobilized. A union of trade unions was formed in Munich. The Minister of Economy was Silvio Gesell. Gesell was an influential intellectual who lived in the pre-war vegetarian commune Obstbausiedlung Eden. Anti-authoritarians and extreme libertarian socialists such as poets, playwrights, Erich Mossen, Ernst Toller, Red Marut, novelist, received mandates to organize the Munich Soviet. The participation of Gustav Landauer as Minister of Culture gave the Munich Soviet a distinct anarchist flavor. Landauer, who had spent years in isolation doing his best work on Nietzsche, Proudhon, Kropotkin, Stirner, Meister Eckhart, the radical mystics and romantic folk philosophers saw from the beginning that the revolution in Russia would bring a bureaucratic, authoritarian state. In the Munich Soviet, they aimed to mobilize the forces of local democracy. With the weakening of the bourgeois state, trade unions as associations reorganized. A large part of Bavaria was set aside for an anarcho-syndicalist economy and community experimentation. Landauer prepared projects for a people's theater and a free school system. The Bavarian Soviet Republic, also known as the Munich Soviet Republic, German Bayerische Räterepublik or Münchner Räterepublik, was a short-lived attempt to establish a socialist state within the Free State of Bavaria as part of the German Revolution of 1918-1999. On April 6, 1919, it seceded from the Weimar Republic and became an independent commune. Its capital was Munich. It was declared in Munich by the Staatsstreite Unionists and Socialists headed by Kurt Eisner. Eisner was a theater critic, journalist and revolutionary. It is said that he had a library of 3,000 books, which he kept in a warehouse during the war and rescued after the war. Don't be misunderstood. It was not a commune run by an oligarchy of culture and intellectuals. It was a structure in which everyone in Munich participated and had a say in governance. Religious or national myths and dreams were ended, and philosophy, art, science, and projects for the people were used to create a commune that would share the truth equally. Art, science, and philosophy were not in the hands of a handful of minorities who saw themselves as different from the people. Because Landauer, Eisner, and others were not of this character. They were socialists who attacked Jacobinism from the intellectual front. Lübeck, Bremenhaven, Cuxhaven, Neumünster, Oldenburg, Kensburg, Rostock-Bremen, and so on all over northern Germany, followed by the declaration of one Soviet Republic after another in Hamburg, Berlin, Munich. In these cities, communes were set up and run by trade unions and people's associations, practicing honest and direct democracy. This is very important, not representative democracy, but direct democracy. However, because they were at war and because of the presence of the fascists, puppets of the bourgeoisie, workers and soldiers' consuls were set up in almost every city. The people were compulsorily arming themselves and protecting the communes they had created with their own hands. The communes were short-lived because the bourgeoisie needed a centralized state and a unicentric bourgeois law. Germany could not take a pluralist form. There had to be one state, one nation, and one homeland, so the bourgeoisie could establish its order and evolve into corporations, exploiting people as much as possible. That's why they destroyed the communes, massacred them, and imprisoned prominent figures. Communism was too dangerous for the wealthy landowners. Military units and the Freikorps forces, the ancestors of the fascist Nazis, began to attack. The Freikorps forces included nationalist and fascist groups that would later join the Nazis. They could not carry out their projects, and the entire commune population fought heroically to defend Munich militarily. Because of the landowners who profited from capitalist relations and the fascists they capitalized on, the Munich Soviet did not last a month. Thousands of volunteers joined the Munich Red Army, to defend the union's leadership and support the revolutionary government, but it was not enough. On May 3, 1919, the militarized Freikorps forces entered Munich. Workers, laborers, leftists, and anarchists heroically defended their territory. Thousands of revolutionaries were killed in street battles. The Munich Soviet was crushed. What happened next?